Welcome back to another update of the restoration for the Lake of the Ozarks Indian. We've been working our tails off since our last update, and we're just actually days away now from first coats of primer going down. When we left you guys on the last update, we were discovering some problems on his back with the Bondo. We've since patched all that. In addition to that, into that canyon or that crater there that we felt repatched and filled, we've also discovered that there was literally hundreds of spider cracks on the giant's back. Basically, spider cracks are formed in a few different ways, but they're from when there's stress in the fiberglass, especially in the gel coat. If it was put on too thick, sometimes they make these little tiny cracks, as you can see here. And what happens is those aren't really hurting the structure at all, but they're really damaging as far as when you prime and when you paint, you can see them. So it's a visual problem, not so much a structural problem. We still had to fix it. So we spent literally hours this week going through his whole back and putting a very thin layer of Bondo on his back and then sanding all that back down. So we basically sanded his back twice, as well as other parts of the legs and the front, to get rid of all these spider cracks so you don't see them through the final paint job. We've also spent a lot of time this week working on the face. We're still not done, as you can see behind me, but we're getting really close. So we're coming right down to the end of sanding. We've pretty much finished sanding on everything except for the face. This has been the most difficult part, and because of that, because it's the face and it has all this detail, Michael's gone ahead and sanded this down completely to the gel coat. So unlike the rest of the guy, which is kind of speckled, which is fine, the face we've gone all the way back down to gel coat 100%. So we've still got a little bit of work yet. Michael's got a little bit of fine-tuning detail around the nose and eyes here, and a couple cracks and holes that need to be patched. But we are, within days of finishing the face and all sanding. And then we're going to move into the internal structure. Another interesting thing, though, that we noticed on the face here is that you can really tell where how the molds were made, and that the face was actually split in half right down the chin and nose. You can see it here, and you can see as we sanded down to the gel coat, you can see actually where the seam is all the way down the face. So it's kind of interesting to go back, and as we restore this guy, we keep seeing how International Fiberglass actually made their guys back in the 60s.
Okay, so we've sanded off the shoulders, both shoulders, and where the guide wire is attached to his eye bolts in his shoulders, they actually have gotten so tight over time that they have stressed the back out. They've actually dimpled it. You can actually see what looks like lines in him, and that is where the guide wires have pushed into him. So we sanded it down, got all the paint off that area. Now we're going to go ahead and tiger hair it, fill it back up, so you don't see those lines anymore. This is one of the final steps before we'll do the primer on his back.
So we're not quite done with the sanding process, but we're already going into the next stage and prepping for it. So the next big stage is internal structure. This has been a huge job for us to work on. The first step is to take everything and build it in a program we call SketchUp. And this is a 3D rendering program, and it's really nice because we can lay out all the pieces and we can fly around it in 3D and really see how this structure is going to work. We can show all the bolts, all the plates, all the metal brackets and everything, and then we take that drawing, we take that 3D SketchUp, and we send it to go on a group, and they can review it and make sure it meets their needs, and then we can go ahead and build the actual structure from the drawing, from the 3D rendering. So this week we've started to give the machine shop everything they need so they can make the parts we need to install it in the guide. So this is what this is. This is a cardboard cutout of the feet, and we need 1/2 inch thick steel plates that go under these feet. This is what we're gonna bolt down to the pedestal back in Lake of the Ozarks. So we made a cardboard cutout and we gave it to the machine shop so they can actually make the piece for us. This is how big these feet are. This is actually another foot. We're doing another side project here for someone else, but you can see here how the feet line up, and then we go ahead and we do our cutout of the foot. They're actually a lot bigger than you think they would be. we're in the early process now of the internal structure. Next update, we'll do an in-depth on everything we're doing as we put all this metal into the giant. It was actually easier to make this guy new in the 1960s than it has been to restore him. But it's still been a blast, we've enjoyed it, and we're that much closer to our goal.